Yo, what it do, Hustle Nation? Hey, today we've got a very, very special show for you. We're talking about um, your financial wellness and well-being, why that matters. I got a very, very special guest on today, man. You guys are going to be blown away with today's episode. So do me a favor, guys. If you are hopping into the room, go ahead and comment in the chat where you're from. Drop the name of your business and or your brand. I'd like to give you a free business shout out. Just do not post any links. But man, when I say I am excited on this Black Friday, man, where you guys at? Are you guys in somebody's line this morning trying to go copy that PS5 or that 55-inch TV for $45 or whatever they got going on at these Black Friday deals and these Black Friday sales? Let me know where you are at in the comments as well. And we're going to get ready to get this show started. But got a special guest. We're talking about financial wellness and well-being. And really, we're going to get into the spiritual side of money. And man, this is going to be one of the most fun episodes that we've done in a long time. Also, smash that share button if you have not already. Make sure you share this on your timelines and that sort of thing. So let me go ahead and jam this intro so we can get to our special guest. So y'all make sure y'all keep it locked right here, man. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.
You're tuned into the Cortez Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe.
All right, Hustle Nation, welcome back to the Cortez Hustle Show. I am, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, also known as the one and only financial health mentor, coming to you live and direct from the Monetize My Life studios here in St. Louis, Missouri. Listen, if you have not picked up your copy of Monetize My Life, 4 incredibly simple ways to turn your passions into profits, you guys want to do that, I'll drop the link in the comments. But everybody's got a gift, talent, special ability that you have been blessed with from your creator. Why not monetize it? The good book says that your gifts will make room for you, and you do that through entrepreneurship, man. And speaking of entrepreneurship, I've got a very, very special guest with me today, and we're going to talk all about that, your financial well-being, right? And how to fuse entrepreneurship into with self-care, self-love, and we're going to go deep into some of the whys of entrepreneurship. So before I bring my special guest out, let me just tell you a little bit about it. Isis Love is a coach and wellness consultant, empowering aspiring entrepreneurs to take actions rooted in self-love to elicit a lasting metamorphosis in every life area, encouraging people to trust their intuition, monetize their education, and diversify their life experiences to embrace their deepest desires and with honor and honor their truth. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on my special guest, and we're going to dive into this financial wellness deal. So introducing to some and presenting to others, Miss Isis Love. How are you, Queen?
Hello, 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 Grand Rising. I am doing fabulous and definitely thankful to be in this space and thankful to be alive at a time like this.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show, where we are the business podcast for the entrepreneur of the 21st century. And I know you know all about that, being a digital entrepreneur yourself, man. Tell us a little bit about who you are and where did you get your start in entrepreneurship?
Yes. So yes, I go by Isis Love. I am originally from Fayetteville, North Carolina, and military background, military family. But one thing that I noticed growing up was that my mother and my father worked for money. And at a young age, I noticed how hard they worked for money and how less of time they had to be with us. So already at a young age, that already kind of sparked my mind as, hey, what's going on? And so, fast forward in my adulthood, I joined the military, worked for the military, but still in my back of my mind, I was like, money is good, but how can I get to a point where my money is working for me versus me working for my money.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually found myself actually kind of homeless. I did a bad investment. I was kind of packed up on debt. So I ended up living in my truck for 2.5 months, drove from Atlanta to Arcata, California, and then started living in the shed for 7.5 months. Now, in that 7.5 months, I call that my awakening period, my incubation period. Because in that period, I asked myself again, I went right back to my 7-year-old self, Isis, how can you get your money to work for you versus you working for your money? At that time, I feel like I hadn't hit rock bottom because I went from making some money to not having any money. And, but it was good because, see, most people use that whatever they're going through to just like keep going down the spiral of life, the down spiral. But what I did is I took that and I use it as fuel to study as much as I can to learn about this financial industry. And so here I am now, just got off a 12-state tour, traveling around, teaching people how to become their own banks and be their own bosses.
I love it. I love it. And you said you end up being homeless after a bad investment. Talk to the people about recovering from that kind of stuff, because there's no reward if there's no risk, right? Yeah. And sometimes people get paralyzed with the potential of failure and they don't take action at all, right? What was it that when you started to invest, how did you overcome those fears, or did they not exist in the first place when you first start putting your money out there to make it work for you?
Well, to be honest, the investment that landed me in my car, it wasn't per se a stock or a mutual fund. Quite frankly, I had invested into a travel trailer. I wanted to just take off and live out on the road. And what happened was, I put about 15K straight up cash into it. I had to get a new vehicle to pull it. So, that was another like 15K. I still was paying payments on that. And so what happened was 2 days before I was going to drive off, my lease was already up. I found out that my roof was rotted out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because it had a storm. The roof was rotting. I was like, why is it leaking in here? So that would have been additional 10,000 plus to get somebody to fix it. Mm-hmm. So that's it. Kind of, I didn't have that money to be paying rent all over again. I was already, paying for all that other stuff. So, it didn't really stop me. I will say another investment that was with cryptocurrency. I was in some company. I put about $3,000 into it. The company shut down and left. And so, to be honest, it didn't faze me. Something inside of me told me, don't worry about it, baby. You are the money. Money is going to come back to you with grace and ease, but keep going. And so I just kept going. I didn't let it discourage me.
Yeah. And I think, we are in a society that preaches scarcity. And I think you and I both know that scarcity is a man-made construct, but they are really good at confusing the minds of the people to say, hey, there's only a limited amount of resources. So you got to sell your soul to get what you can get, right? And because of that, a lot of people hold on to their money and they don't invest. And so as a digital entrepreneur, break that down. But what does that actually mean?
Amazing. Yeah. So basically digital entrepreneur. So basically what that means is I can work digitally, remotely from anywhere as long as I have Wi-Fi and a smartphone. This world now that we're living in is going digital. If we haven't paid attention to it or not, yes, people still get mail in their mailbox, but half of the times you can get your bills in your email. I don't know how, I'm 33 years young. And when I was growing up, we played outside, that was the thing. Now, what are the kids doing on those games in the house, digital? So I kind of got the phrase digital entrepreneur because We're no longer really always doing things in person, especially with this whole COVID going on. So most of the times I'm doing things like this digital, teaching classes on Zoom or StreamYard, and just, live on Facebook. So digital entrepreneur just basically meaning as we move in this digital age, I'm tapping more into opportunities that allow me to make money online without going or being in anybody's establishment.
Yeah, and I love that, because not only does it allow you to not have to go anywhere, but these digital platforms allow you to reach the entire world, right? So there is no longer a geographical confine that says, hey, I can only work in this city, I can only work in this state, I can only work in this country. No, we're streaming right now live to the entire world, right? So I think that is very profound. But it looks like you have 3 core areas that you really, really are passionate about in terms of empowering people economically. And I think that's something that we share. But you have investing, you have real estate, you have financial coaching, and I know you're in the cryptocurrency space as well. Talk about some of the things that you could help people with from your financial coaching standpoint.
Yes. So I like to call it the 3 M's, helping people make, multiply, and manage money. Now, truth be told, everybody and their grandma knows how to make money. Everybody knows how to do that. But what I found out living in that shed and being in that predicament where I had to really watch my money, I've noticed that most people don't manage their money, and they damn sure don't know how to multiply it. So within my coaching program, not only am I going to show you how to manage and multiply your money, I think one missing step that a lot of people don't go over is how to cultivate a healthy relationship with money. Because money is energy. And so you think about it just like a person. If somebody's talking about you, do you want to be around them? No, right? So what we don't realize is that when we say words like, I don't have money, I'm broke, money is evil, I'll never have that, rich people are evil, just these words that we speak, we're repelling money versus receiving money. So, you could do affirmations till your face is blue, but if you don't have, that connection, that spiritual connection, knowing that money is not outside of you, like you said, we've been bamboozled to think that it's something outside of us, that it's a scarcity, when in all instances, it's us. And so the more you can work on you, and the more you can work on your relationship and reprogram your mind around money, the more you'll have this money in your life. So that's what I do. I coach people on how to reprogram their mind around how they used to view money. And, just give them some action steps on what to do. And especially with managing money, I have a setup, a system, a little system where I help people basically spend a certain amount every week, start to get an emergency fund. A lot of people don't even have emergency funds, right? And I like to call it the God only knows fund, because God only knows when you're going to need that money, right? So, as far as the coaching, that's a little bit what I do with the coaching. And as they're investing, oh my gosh, this is where the multiply comes, because we've been taught in our day and age, you got to save, you got to save, you got to save, got to save in that rainy day. But one thing that I want you guys to think about is when you save money, when you pull from it, right? When you pull from the money, it's not growing. You're just pulling and pulling and pulling, and before you know it, it's gone. But when you can put yourself in platforms like investing in stocks, investing in cryptocurrency and Forex and gold and silver, you're putting yourself in a position of, you still can save it, but it's kind of like a save investing. I know everybody's probably new to the crypto space, but I know income claims, past profits don't equal future results, but really my cryptocurrency wallet has tripled in the last couple of days, something that your bank account would never allow you to do.
Yeah, and I think that's really, really profound. And you said something that I love to teach all the time when it comes to repelling money away from you, right? Your subconscious mind will never let you become that which you despise. We secretly hate wealthy people, but we're trying to get rich at the same time. It's like, it don't work like that. You never become something you despise.
Mhm.
And books like Hung by the Tongue. Yeah, I mean, um, when I look at the laws of success, Napoleon Hill talks a lot about auto suggestion and just, hey man, just got to reprogram. You got to talk to yourself in a way that it gets to your subconscious mind. And most people don't realize that they are attracting poverty into their lives with the way that they think and the way that they act. On the other side of this break, we want to talk also about the spiritual side, right? When you say entrepreneurship, but you also are talking about fusing that with self-love. I'm going to have you break that down on the other side of this break. What does that mean to be an entrepreneur that focuses on self-love? So you guys make sure y'all comment where you're from. Let us know the name of your business and know your brand for the free business shout out. Y'all keep it locked right here. We'll be right back.
What's up, St. Louis? Listen, I see you've been checking out some of my videos on how to build generational wealth. Here's the real key. If you're going to build wealth in America, you must find one or two ways to get paid for one or two things that you love to do, and then build systems around those things so that you don't become a slave to your business, but you then start earning true passive income. Listen, I've got a book and online course called the Monetize My Life Influencer Bundle. The book will teach you how to identify your gifts, talents, and special abilities and turn those things into income by packaging and presenting them to the marketplace. The course will teach you how to use social media and build systems just like this video around your products and services so that you can earn that passive income. All you got to do is click the link around this video and get yourself the Monetize My Life Influencer Bundle today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cortez Hustle Show. I am your host, Cortez Hustle, also known as the one and only financial health mentor, sitting with my guest, Isis Love, digital entrepreneur extraordinaire. And we're just talking a little bit about being digital entrepreneurs, understanding the place and the role that entrepreneurship plays in your wealth building portfolio, why it's important, some of the things that she teaches in her financial coaching program. But she also talks a lot about self-love and self-care. So Isis, define that for us. When you say self-love first, let's define that, and then let's talk about why that's important in entrepreneurship.
Okay, well, basically in my words, I feel like self-love is about putting your health, right, and you first, and also doing practices that are going to set you up for the day before you even get into the world. So, just a little example, like before I even got on here and, got started with you guys, I made sure that I took time with me and God, whatever your God or whoever your God or whoever you believe in, taking that time to meditate, taking that time to get up and visualize and command how I want my day to go. Getting up, drinking my water, drinking my herbal teas, getting my body flushed out and clean for the day. So just really taking some time to just love your body down, because as entrepreneurs, we experience so much in the day.
Yeah, I think that is critically important. I'm up at 5. I do my workout and I try to get a liter of water in before I think about anything else, because I know that's important, and the meditation and that kind of thing. You're right. Entrepreneurship is so mentally demanding, especially if you're a creative, right? And because your mind never stops with all that can be done and that you could do yourself and things that you need to figure out. And if you're not careful, it can wear on you mentally. So you have to know how to recharge and get that day started out correctly. What was your first entrepreneurial endeavor?
Wow. Well, that is a great question. Because to be honest, I've always been an entrepreneur at heart. And my first entrepreneur endeavor was when I was a child, to be honest. I was selling cupcakes.
Okay.
I was selling cupcakes in a little tub at school, like in, what was I in? I think I was in high school. And so, oh no, matter of fact, I was in middle school. And so that was literally like my first taste of an entrepreneur. I would come home, get that little cake box. I think back in the day, those little cakes was only like 50 cents a box. You know, I would make about, I think, 24 cupcakes, sell it for 50 cents. So that was like my real first taste of entrepreneurship growing up, just period.
Gotcha. And when do you recall a moment when you fell in love with it though? And you're like, man, this is that deal. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
Well, to be honest, when I got a little bit more involved with network marketing, that's what it was like. Oh my gosh, like this is my calling. Like, hello, this is my calling. So, you know, it was my first time, you know, being in a setup like that. But what I really loved about it wasn't that I was selling a product per se. It was actually me offering education, but being able to network and just be around people from all around the world. Like, I don't know, I just feel like it was something I was just naturally born at. And I was just asking myself, where have you been my whole life?
I love it. And I love that industry myself. I often call myself the MLM advocate because that industry has a bad rep for those people who've never really given it the light of day, right? But we know that if you are not creating some form of leverage in your life, then you're basically setting yourself up to work until you die. Whether you leverage business system like a network marketing, whether you learn how to leverage this technology, you learn how to leverage other people. Talk about the importance of leverage, passive and residual income.
Wow. Whew, that's a good one. This is how we got to realize it. If you have residual bills, but one stream of income, what do you guys think one stream of income plus residual bills equal? Equals broke, right? It equals living paycheck to paycheck, because how do you have more than one bill, but you have one stream of income coming in? So it's so very, very important to have multiple streams of income because we have multiple things that we want to do in life. And so what happens is we rely on one stream, and that's why people are struggling, because they only have one stream of income and it cannot keep up with the lifestyle that they're in. Right. So we need to have multiple streams, because as we see now what's going on in the world, everybody relied on one job. They thought that job was the end all be all. I'm so safe. I got the job. But as we can see, it's not. But if you had something on the side, it wouldn't affect you. So multiple streams of income, residual income is so important. Now, leverage, right? Leverage. And you guys, can you guys still hear me, or is it a little loud? Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, cool. So leverage is so very important. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Robert Kiyosaki, but Robert Kiyosaki talks about it only being two ways to make money. And it's kind of like what I said when I first got on. You're either going to work for it or it's going to work for you. So 95% of the world right now are working for their money. They don't have leverage. So that means that they don't have anybody working for them. So that means they are working for other people, building their legacy up, building their empire up. And so when you don't have leverage, you don't have time, and you don't have the money to do and live and be who you truly need to be. I feel like God put us here not to work a job, but we have a job. And that job is to be the best version of ourselves and share those gifts with others.
Yeah, I certainly agree. And like I said, there's more than one way to leverage, right? I've got good mentor Brian Bean always talks about leverage this way. He says, we understand leverage sometimes when it comes to work, but we don't understand leverage when it comes to money, right? If I wanted to move all the furniture out of this room, and there's four guys hanging out watching me do all this stuff, then I would naturally look crazy if I'm denying their help, saying, no, I got it, I'm do it all by myself. No, we're going to leverage and get this done in a few minutes, right? We don't see that same phenomenon when it comes to our money. How can I leverage the intellect of others, the systems of others, the energy of others, not so that I take advantage of them, but so that we all win, right? And I think that's one of the hugest components. I like to tell people, Isis, that I work for three things: passive income, residual income, and ownership. If those three things ain't on the table, then I can't give my energy to it, because if I give my energy, I'm giving my life. I never get that back. So I'm trying to get some sort of long-term play out of the things that I'm doing. So you also talked a little bit about investing in the crypto space, right? Why are so many people afraid of crypto?
Ooh, you're trying to get me started today. Ignorance. I'm just gonna be straight up with you. And ignorance is not like it's insult. It's, think about the word ignorance. It's, you just don't know. But when you really break that word down, because I'm really a word fanatic, ignorance. A lot of people choose to ignore it. Truth really be told, a lot of people would rather be entertained than educated. Right? So when we see stuff like that, our old programming automatically like repels it, right? It repels it. We've been somehow brought up and taught to think that everything is a scam. But when you break the word scam down, scam stands for steal, confused about money. See, when you don't know how money works and how it operates and how investments work, things are going to go into one ear and it's not even going to go out the other. It's going to get stuck, right? It's going to be able to come out that other ear, right? And I just simply think it's just ignorance. But if we want to get a little deep, kind of spiritual, our ancestors from Kemet in Egypt studied cryptography, right? So cryptography, aka crypto, is something that is in our blood. It's something that our ancient ancestors, technology that they've been using. Now, certain people, we're not going to get too deep, want to try to bring it out like it's something totally new when it's something that runs through the course of our blood.
Wow. That's deep. And that's something that we have to understand. And again, that also comes to that scarcity mentality. And then also that microwave mentality that says, I can't put any money into something that I can't see, especially if I'm not supposed to get a return on it for a little while, right? If I want to put some money into crypto, then I want to get my return out of crypto like tomorrow. It's like, that's not how any investments work, right? It's about usually a long-term play, and it's getting more and more popular, but I still think that there's a lot of folks who, again, going back to this whole digital age, can't see if everything else is going digital, why wouldn't the money go digital, right? And then when you take it to that other level, if we know that as individuals, we're trying to break out of the whole big government situation where there's just involved in every aspect of our lives, why wouldn't we think that somebody would at some point want to break away from central banking and do something that is more for the people? So I think that is something that really, really has to be understood when it comes to, like you said, the ignorance is not an insult. It's you not knowing, and then also you refusing to know, right? I think one of the things that people have trouble with, or one of the excuses that they use, if I don't know, then I'm not responsible, right? And that's not the case, man, because ignorance of the law is not going to get you out of the punishment. So when it comes to, I know you do a lot of women empowerment stuff as well. What do you think about the fact that the missing of the feminine energy is why we're in this predicament that we're in? I mean, let's face it, the world has been run by men. And I think as a result of the world being run by men, that's why we are where we are.
Ooh, you cutting up today with these questions now. Ooh, that question right there. Let me let me woo-saw on that one before I go off and listen right now. Because see, I ain't know nothing about these questions, so I couldn't even prepare myself. Woo, because that's a strong topic. Wow. So let's kind of wrap it, if you don't mind. I'm gonna wrap it back up to that self-love. See, you're right. We're living in the old programming. And the old programming is about hustling. It's about grinding. It's about, you don't need to sleep, get up. It's about, I don't care if you're hungry, keep going, right? And all of that is very masculine, very patriarchal, right? But we all know the body needs sleep. The body needs rest. The body needs good food, right? Because then we can't be all that we can be. We don't see one of the things, shout out to my community. They're probably on here, Generation 12. One of the things that I teach in my community is we're not in hustle mode. We're not in grind mode. We are in God mode. But when you're in God mode, aka that feminine energy, you're able to attract and magnetize everything that you need to you without even really struggling at all. See, when you're in that hustle, I gotta grind, I'm on my grind. What you're doing is you're acting like a scavenger, right? You're in that scarcity mode. Oh my gosh, I gotta hustle, I gotta grind. No, baby, I'm in God mode. It's gonna come to me. And so I do really think that, and it's really not even about a man and a woman thing. It's more about a masculine and a feminine energy thing, because we all have masculine and feminine energy. So it's not per se, a man-woman thing. It's just that women tap more into their feminine energy. Now, I feel like, if we did have more men tapping into their feminine energy, that it'll be a little bit more balanced. But because we live in a society where, excuse me, I mean, I hope it's okay if I say this, but we live in a society where everybody think everything is gay, or, oh man, you can't cry, that's gay, or you can't, you your feelings, man, that's gay, stop acting like a little girl. And so it's just the programming as a child is so important. And I do feel, and the reason why, I work with women and men, but the reason why I do inspire to work with more women is because we have been in the back burner for so long. When our ancestors, right, when our ancestors were, thriving and everything, they knew that, the woman was the matriarch, the carrier, right? Because yes, it takes two to make a baby, but if once those two come together, if the mom cannot sustain that baby in there for those months, there's no creation. Right. So everything around us is feminine. The world is very feminine. If we would have more women in office and, more women in it, of course, with the masculine balance, of course, because you can't have one without the other. I definitely feel like this world it wouldn't be so worry, so competition, so, I don't even know how I can say this word without getting too deep. So, the word I want to use may be a little naughty. So much measuring, so much yardstick measuring. Yeah. Let's just say that.
I get you. I know exactly where you're coming from, and it is that. I hate the false masculinity that is portrayed, and it's literally killing us, especially us, right? And when we're dealing with so much trauma, that's the last thing you need is a false sense of manhood, a false masculinity to really be dominant in our communities. And that's why there is so much confusion going on. And I agree with you there that the energy should flow and there should be balance, right? I don't understand a society that understands duality from a scientific standpoint, but from an emotional and social standpoint, pretend that they don't understand it. And as a result, we're ending up in places like where we are. Like you said, war is rampant, and there's always a takeover in mind, that there's not a cooperative thought process, or the fact that we are born to be interdependent just seems like a foreign thought to so many. So what would you say to women who are looking to get into entrepreneurship, but they're frightened, right? A lot of times I know fear is something that I've been dealing with a lot with my groups and trying to help them overcome that thing. But what do you have as one of your antidotes to help people overcome fear?
Your why. What is your why? What is your why for living? What is your why for wanting to get out of debt? So, for example, one of my whys, and then I'll tie it back in, but one of my whys is I inspire. And when I speak as though it's already here. So when I say this statement, it's already done. So I'm so happy and grateful that I have been able to open up a school nonprofit organization called the Star Seed Academy, where I'm able to teach children from 2 years old to 16 years old about financial literacy, about yoga, meditation, how to use their imagination, how to program their mind with affirmations, and a lot of other things. So if I give up and I stop in life and I get fearful, those kids in that school will never be born. And so when I feel like I want to fold, right? Because we have a coward inside of us and we have a courageous person inside of us. We all do, right? And when I feel like I want to fold to that coward, I go back to my why. Why am I doing this? Why am I getting up every morning? And that why fuels me, because this is not about me. See, a lot of people, they just focus on their self. I'm comfortable at $20 an hour, but this is not even about you. This is about your legacy. This is about the generations that's going to come before you. So I just put myself in a predicament where I know I'm not doing this for me. So I have to get that out my mind, and I have to, take my little self-love breaks or whatever I need to do to get my energy back in order so I can go ahead and have this school popping.
Yeah, I love that, man. And that's we're on so much on the same page, because like you said, if you're only doing it for you, or if you can get it done by yourself, then chances are you're thinking too small and to begin with, right? And I think that is so true and key, that most people are thinking only about themselves, and that's what fuels me. Is not so much the why as the why not, right? If I don't do this, nobody else will. And the vision that I have is so humongous that there's going to be a lot of people that suffer or continue to suffer if I don't fulfill my mission and what I believe my calling is on my life. And I just think that is important. So you talked about being on a 12 cities, 12 state tour. Talk about some of your travels a little bit, man, because I know that's one of the benefits of being a digital nomad, a digital entrepreneur is, hey, man, wherever I got my phone and I got some connection, I'm in business anywhere in the world. How has that shaped your view of the world? How has that shaped your view of entrepreneurship? And then how has that shaped your view of us, our community, Black people in America, African Americans, however you want to call it? How has that shaped those three things, your travels?
Okay, so let's start with the first one, because you threw three of them at me. I'm trying to remember. What was the first one you asked me?
So your travels, how has it shaped your view of the world?
Okay, let me start with that one. So just to touch bases on a couple of places that I did visit. I was down in Virginia, down in Fayetteville, North Carolina, South Carolina, Jersey, Philly, New York, Dallas, Houston, San Diego, LA, just to name a couple, right? And this is all within like 2 months, right? And so it shaped me because I got to kind of see how some people were living. People that I really love and care about, like how some people were living, or how people, were in just in certain predicaments where it really wanted me to even want to help them even more, right? So I think sometimes when we don't travel, we don't go out and get to see the world, we don't even really see how fortunate we are, right? One of the things I do is every rising, I write 10 things that I'm grateful for, every rising. And so being on that trip really put me even more down in my gratitude, right? So that's what it definitely changed. So that's the first one. It put me deeper into my gratitude to be grateful for, where I am and how I'm able to now help others.
Awesome. Awesome. And how has that shaped your view of entrepreneurship?
It shaped my view to see that, this is my personal opinion, but I think everybody should do it. I really do, because I bring it back to that Starseed Academy, because a lot of times we have these kids, we're so excited to have these kids, but half of the day the kids are being raised by other people. And so what I notice is that a lot of the women and even men they don't have a time to share with their family and watch their kids grow up because they're at the job. So it made me even want to go even more harder to tell people, look, you can still spend time with your family, with your kids at the comforts of your home with your pajamas on and still make money.
Yeah, I am so there with you. And how has it shaped your view of our community, Black people in America?
It has shaped my view to know that we got to get this. It made me even want to go harder within the communities and start doing more speaking engagements within the community, because quite frankly, I think there's a deep spell within our community where it's like the spell's just deep, right?
Yeah.
It's a deep spell. And it just made me want to even just get in our community even deeper, right? Really, really deeper. Even, start to talk, and it may be a bold move, but people who make bold moves go further, to even start to get to some of these neighborhoods where these gangs are, these gang bangers, these drug lords, all these things, and just really speak to them, because, we killing each other while other people killing us. So it's like, we got to unite. We got to unite. We have to unite. And if we don't unite, we're just going to keep going down the same down spiral. So, being home, I was able to see some young gentlemen that I grew up with that are in trouble, in it with the law, and, it just really, really, really wanted me to just really be a more advocate in the community and really help more, quote unquote, what they would say, troubled people, just to put them on the right path. Because once you get those felons and stuff, I understand in this world, it can be hard to, quote unquote, get a job, but a job is not the only solution. And I think that we have forgot that we are powerful as people, and God has equipped us with the right tools and the right thing to make money just from ourselves without doing, quote unquote, illegal things.
Yeah, I solely agree. I think entrepreneurship is the answer, just period. But our school system is very good in creating what it's designed to create, right? You think about following the money. Who funds our school system? Big business and the government. How do they get their money? Taxes and leveraging the labor of employees. So our school system creates employees and that employee mindset. And it's very, very efficient at how it does that, right? And it gets you so wrapped up. But I too, I think about being involved more in the youth. It's funny, our school system will teach us that entrepreneurship is risky and that we should have a job. So on one side of your mouth, you're saying it's risky to be an entrepreneur, but the whole time we're in school, you're teaching us how to ask an entrepreneur for a job. Here's how you fill out an application. Here's how you conduct yourself on an interview, right? We got to ask the entrepreneur for a job. Why not just teach us entrepreneurship and that whole thing, man? So it's crazy. And even when I think about college education, right? I do not hate on higher education, right? I do, however, hate on how it's sold to our children, right? College is sold in two primary ways, that it is the only way to success, and it's also sold as it's a guaranteed way to succeed, right? When you think about going through high school, they say, man, you go to college, get you a college degree, you're going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right, right? Like it's a guarantee, but it's also sold like it's the only way. And then we look at the lives of multi-billionaires and very successful and wealthy people, and we know that business ownership has proved to be the way for massive success. And I know people get on me about the monetary success, but usually the monetary success leads to other successes, because when I don't have to worry about chasing a dollar, then I can start that process of self-love and all that kind of stuff. So we are winding down the last 15 minutes of the show. Anything you wanted to talk to the people about that we have not covered yet?
So yeah, I want to speak a little bit of, we're going to bring it back to that crypto space really quick. One of the things that I'm doing to tie it back into the community, me and my community, Generation 12, and let's talk about what Generation 12 is, right? What is Generation 12? Well, Generation 12 is a very simple movement. Generation 12 is about you becoming the first generational millionaire in your bloodline, so that you eradicate any generational, I don't say curses, generational habits and poverty 12 generations back, so that it paves the way for you and the rest of your generation 12 generations forward. Because we know that this stuff is hereditary. It's about the DNA. It's about the blood. So if you and everybody living right now has the ability to make a difference for the rest of the people that comes. Now, I'm not here to preach or get deep into the Bible, because I know we all believe in certain things. But one thing I do believe is the Bible is basic instructions before leaving Earth. And one of the things it talks about is that there's going to be 144,000 people, aka when you take 12 times 12, that's 144. So there'll be 144,000 people that shift and make a difference in this world. So when I think about Generation 12, I think about the things that we're teaching is going to really shift this planet 12 generations deep, and it's going to affect everybody that comes before. So that's just a little bit about Generation 12. We're all about cultivating generational wealth and also reprogramming our mindset. So me and Generation 12, my community, we're going to be doing a 5-day boot camp teaching people the basics of cryptocurrency. And it's our way of tithing back into the community. You don't have to pay anything, but you do have to have a burning desire to win. And you have to be coachable and teachable. So, if anybody wants to learn about cryptocurrency or get into that 5-day boot camp, definitely just, could DM me on Instagram or, Facebook, and we can get you into that. And that's what I definitely wanted to share. And then also, wanted to just kind of share a coaching program that I have going on right now. For people, like I said, and the reason why I put emphasis on people who really want a burning desire is because everybody wants money. Everybody wants change. But once again, you can want something but not do anything about it. So that's why I'm interested in working with people that have a burning desire to change, that really, really want to change, because, time is precious. It's my greatest asset that I have, right? And so I'm interested in working with people that also respect their time as much as mine. So if you guys are really ready to transform your mind, cultivate your financial garden, and, really just change your life, like definitely, my website, you're able to drop the website, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. He's going to drop the website, and go ahead, come on there. We do a 15-minute consultation to just get your goals. And then from there, we could go ahead and get the coaching starting. The prices and everything. When you hit financial coaching, there'll be a little video. When you hit learn more, there'll be a little video there with me explaining a little more. And then there'll be a place where you can send the money to PayPal, and we can get you cracking. But, if I could just leave you with one thing, I would definitely say become more educated. Everybody has time to educate themselves on this stuff, but you just got to put the TV down. You got to put the Netflix down. You got to put the Hulu down, the social media down, the video games down. And you got to really expand your mind, because you're so powerful. There's nothing that nobody cannot do on this phone. One saying is, all things are powerful that believe it. So if you believe that you can't do something, guess what? You can't do it, right? But if you believe and you have a faith of a mustard seed, and a mustard seed is the smallest seed out of all of the seeds, right? But if you have just a mustard seed of faith, right? Just a mustard seed, and you keep feeding that and you keep watering that with the right personal development, with the right energy, with the right development, your confidence, aka your faith, will begin to grow even more, and you'll start to believe in yourself more and more.
Awesome. Yeah, the great George Fraser talks about that E to E ratio, right? That education to entertainment ratio, and a lot of times it is out of whack. I talk to a lot of men about, man, can you really afford to watch 21 hours of football every week? Right? Can you really afford that, right? And I'm a youth basketball coach and trainer for the last 10 years. I put it down to go hard in entrepreneurship. So when I pick it back up, I can actually afford to do it, right? And I think that's what it takes. Great message on education and empowering oneself, because that is the truth. That is where it all begins. Grow your mindset, grow your person, right? Become the person that you want to be. I think a lot of us get caught up in doing things. No, it's more about being, right? Who do you want to be in 5 years? And go down that road of becoming that person. Eventually that will lead to you doing the habits that will lead to you having the things that you want to have. So appreciate that. Bethany said, great interview. Last words?
Last words, I would definitely say, never let anybody tell you that you can't do anything, right? Never let anybody tell you that you can't do anything. Never think that it's too late, depending on your age. Never think that it's too late. There's never too late. Start now. Don't start soon. Don't start one day. Don't start when your kids get old. Don't start when that. Start now. Start today. Start right now. Making a difference and making a choice in your reality, because we are the creators of our reality. We may not realize it or not, but everything that we think and say and what comes out of our mouth emulates our reality. So if you're wondering why you're living a certain way, you need to check your mindset. You need to check your eye gates and your ear gates. You need to see, who are you listening to? Who are you around? What are you allowing to go in your ears? What kind of music are you listening to? What are the people that you're around talking about? Are they talking about empowerment or encouragement? Are they talking about depression, talking about people dying, talking about just negativity? You got to really protect that, because that stuff goes in your ear and it starts to emulate your reality. So be the change that you want to see. And I love you guys all. And you got this.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to and learning from Isis Love on the Cortez Hustle Show this morning. Super excited that you guys decided to come hang out with us. Isis, appreciate you so much for all that you are doing in the community, for blessing us with an hour of your time this morning. So appreciate that. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now, hustle up. But you've got to